So this is probably the oldest question in the book when it comes to interviews. And the question is, how do you answer this in an interview? Tell me about yourself. This is an interview for school enrollment. Well, it really doesn't matter where you're interviewing. The tell me about yourself is set up to find out what separates you from everyone else that they're talking to. What makes you different. They're not looking for somebody to say generic things like I'm a team player, a hard worker. They're looking for specifics. So if you do say something like that, you want to back it up. And I'm going to link below in the notes to another video on how to sell yourself with the feature example benefit technique. The tell me about yourself question is one of those questions you should always have rehearsed so that you can keep it tight. Because if you don't know what you're going to say, you can end up rambling. And people's attention spans every day get shorter and shorter. You want to choose highlights. Here's an example. I was born in England and I came here as a 5-year-old. It was quite an eye-opening experience because things were done so differently. Give an example of something that was unique to coming from England to coming over here. What you're doing is you're starting to color in who you are as a person and what shaped you. Then you can move on and say, I've always been a competitive person. In elementary school, I played baseball. I was a cheerleader, things like that. And then talk about some of the successes and how it took you to the next level. You want to start with birth, highlights from there, going in order, and you want to wrap it up with what brings you here today in front of them. So if this is for school enrollment, I'm not sure if this is for a high school, like a private school, or if you're talking about college. But either way, they're looking for 2 things. 1, why you'd be a good addition to the school, what you bring to the table, and 2, how it's going to help you grow as a person. So you want to have those 2 things ready. We talked about what you bring to the table in terms of being competitive, maybe coming from a different culture, and then you'll talk about what brought you to be in front of them today, that you were looking to challenge yourself more and then you can go back and say, I've always gone the most difficult path because I feel like I'll grow the most in those places. And that's one of the things I like about your school. It's going to challenge me and it's going to help me be a better rounded person and it's going to set me up for future successes. And you might say things that you're interested in the future. Maybe you want to become a doctor. And you could say, in the future, be a doctor, but I want to be a doctor without borders. And so it's important for me not just understand technical things, medical things, but understand people and understand different cultures. And that's one of the things I like about the opportunity here. I'll be in a very diverse setup. But the other thing is you always want to talk about positive things, more of what you stand to gain than what you didn't have in the past. I hope this makes sense. Feel free to send me a direct email if you want to get into more depth on this, to Andy@AskAndyAnything.info. And I'd appreciate any comments below on my YouTube channel. I'd like to find out what you think about all this. And as well, anyone else who is watching this, suggestions that you might have. If you like what I've had to say, please like my channel and subscribe. Thank you.